Okay, let's see if my stream gets shut down again. It's not like I have a billion people watching right now anyway. Let me see. I'm trying to get it going on TikTok too. I am not great at this kind of stuff. Hold up. Okay. So I am live on TikTok and YouTube right now for Mr. Cinematic Live. Used to be called the Cinecast when I do these live streams, but I'm indecisive. Mr. Cinematic Mr. Cinematic Live sounded like a cool name, so going with that. Um, Today I just really wanted to talk about all the movies I've seen in the past couple months. I just had my first kid recently, so that's kind of kept me from going to the movies a little bit, but still been trying to make that work. It's kind of hard for me not to go to the movies. That's been my church for the longest time. Um, so first one I'll get into is Mario Galaxy. That one actually came out the weekend my son was born, and had to decide between staying there for my son's birth or going to see Mario Galaxy. I said fuck it and just chose the kid. Um, so yeah, let me get into that. Ah, shit. And I'm having more technical difficulties. Yay. Trying to share the fucking screen. Let's see if I can do that. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this. Um, so I watched Mario Galaxy last week on digital. Um, which I usually don't do for movies, but if it's something that like I want to see, but I just don't have the time to go see it, then I resort to this. But yeah, I saw Mario Galaxy, and I know a lot of people really hated this one. I don't really think it was that bad. Um, I mean, I just kind of knew what I was going into when I watched it. It's not all that different from the first movie. It's just a lot of nostalgia. Didn't necessarily feel entirely like a Mario Galaxy movie, if I'm being honest, but it's still a fun time. It's something you can have on the background. Um, Maybe if I saw it in the theater and like spent more money to go see it and like spent my time to go see it, then yeah, maybe I'd feel a little different about it. But as a home watch, I was like, this is fun, and Mario's just so nostalgic for me. It was hard for me not to enjoy this. Um, it's not like movie of the year. It's not the best animated movie of all time, but I don't think it was a piece of shit like people were saying. I also don't think it was a masterpiece like people are saying. It's just, you know, it's nostalgia bait. That's really all it is, to be honest. Um, yeah, I just watch these movies for like all the stuff I played growing up. It's fun for me to see all these things, like the fact that they had Star Fox in it. They had some other Smash Bros. Characters. They do go a little overboard sometimes with like the nostalgia bait, but like I said, that's kind of the point of these movies. It's fun when they play some of like the Mario music, but it did feel like a weird uh sequel to go with Mario Galaxy. I feel like they should have built up toward that because that's like one of their biggest games. And I also don't know if they're gonna do a Smash Bros movie or not. I mean, I'd be up for it, but like I said, my expectations for these kind of movies aren't that high. At the end of the day, they are kids' movies. So I just kind of take it with a grain of salt every time I watch them. The animation's always really good. Yeah, I had a fun time with it. I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. It's decent. Let's see. So I watched that. Let me go to, let me see. So next movie I'm going to talk about is Michael Jackson, or it's just called Michael. Um, okay. So this was the first movie I finally went to see after having my kid, and it was nice to be back at the theater. Um, I feel like I would have just liked anything I saw, just because I was so excited to be back at the movies. Um, let me. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at this. Live streaming is very new to me. I don't know if anybody's even watching on TikTok, but y'all are probably really confused. I've got this going on YouTube as well, and I'm sharing the screen. So okay. Um, so yeah, I saw Michael, and it really is the same as like every other musical biopic. I mean, of course, his life is still like it's still different than a lot of other artists. He didn't really have a drug problem or anything. He did have body image issues, and they kind of get into that a little bit. And they also got into his childhood, the relationship he had with his dad. They really made his dad an asshole in this movie, like way more than I expected him to be. I knew a little bit about that in real life, but I didn't realize how bad it was. I don't know if it was that bad in real life or not, but for the movie, it made it more interesting. Just his upbringing, and it did kind of feel like once he was an adult, he just went straight into being a pop star. I didn't really feel like there was much of a build up toward that, but um it was still just so entertaining because it's Michael Jackson. If you're a Michael Jackson fan, then you're gonna like this movie. If you're not, then I don't know if you'll really like it. That's kind of how I see this one. It's like you have to be a Michael Jackson fan to really enjoy it, at least in my opinion. And it was a great one to see at the theater just because the music was so great, hearing it on those speakers. I don't know. I had a good time with it. Could have been a little bit shorter, but it was a good theater experience. And yeah, it's really not that different from any of like the other movies like Bohemian Rhapsody, Rocket Man, all those sort of musical biopics. But yeah, if you go into this one, you kind of know what to expect. I think critics were just really hating on it for no reason. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I'd give Michael like I'd give that one a 7, maybe 7.5 out of 10. I'd say that's fair. So next movie I'm gonna talk about, and I wasn't even really planning on going to see this one, but I ended up seeing it because I was taken by a family member. Let me pull up this one now. Okay, Mortal Kombat 2. It's another movie I just knew exactly what to expect. Um, just because I'd seen the first one and it was dumb as hell, but I still had fun with it. A lot of the kills were really cool. Fight scenes were fun. But I think this movie does take it up a notch. Not a very high notch. It doesn't do anything groundbreaking, but it is a pretty fun movie, and it knows what it's trying to be. It knows it's gonna be dumb as hell. The dialogue is stupid, the acting is cheesy, and it feels like it's purposely trying to be an 80s movie, and I think that really works for Mortal Kombat. I think if it took itself too seriously, I don't know if it would work as well. Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, not who I would have picked to play the character, but he still is really fun in the role. He kind of just makes it his own, I guess. I really would have gone with Glenn Powell, but he might not have wanted to do a movie like this, and I don't blame him. Carl Urban is kind of he's a little late in his career, so I think a movie like this is perfect for him. Um, but yeah, it was a fun theater experience. I mean, you really can't go wrong with a movie like this. It's just dumb kung fu and like people slicing each other's jaws off. Um, they haven't gotten to anything crazy in the games like people's testicles exploding. What are we doing, Mortal Kombat? We gotta show that in live action, you know? Um, but I enjoyed it. You know, I knew what I was going into. I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10, which I guess past 3 movies I just reviewed are kind of like just okay in a sense, if I'm giving them a 7 out of 10, but whatever. I think there's still a lot to enjoy with Mortal Kombat 2. So yeah. Let's see. Now we're gonna get to the movie I really want to talk about. Let's see. I'm still kind of getting used to the whole live stream thing, so forgive me if I'm kind of stuttering a lot or just losing my train of thought. I'm used to making videos where I have a script in front of me. It's a little bit easier. Let me see. This is just me going off my thoughts. Luckily, I don't have a giant audience, so no pressure. I think I only have like 1 or 2 people on here. Thanks for joining, by the way. I really appreciate it. Okay. So, the movie I really wanted to talk about, and it's really the whole reason I'm doing this live stream because I just wanted to have a way to talk about this movie. Um, and that is Obsession. Let me add this to the screen. So I watched this weekend, and originally I wasn't gonna go see it. Believe it or not, I almost went and saw The Mandalorian and Grogu, which I'm so happy I didn't. I almost went to see that because I just miss being able to see a Star Wars movie in the theater, but then I was like, I'm not that desperate, and Disney doesn't deserve my money. They kind of ruined Star Wars, so don't want to help them out. But that's another story. But yeah, I saw Obsession, and oh wow, my camera just went out. Oh well. I saw Obsession and I was just surprised how much I liked it. I thought it would just be like a simple suspense thriller, but really it was way more than that. It was super creepy. It kind of felt like a paranormal possession type movie, but it doesn't try to be that necessarily. I think it's just the eeriness and the scariness of it. I think it kind of follows some of those tropes. The actress that plays the main girl in it, Nikki, she deserves an Oscar, and this is coming from somebody that doesn't believe in the Oscars because they give out bullshit awards, but that's another story. Um, she definitely deserves a lot of praise because this was probably one of the best performances I've seen in a horror movie. I was very surprised by this. She is just so creepy. Um, she really embodies this role. And I also gotta say, it's just so impressive that we're getting all these horror movies from like YouTubers. I think Hollywood's maybe starting to notice that there's just better creators on YouTube sometimes instead of some of the really shitty ones in Hollywood. Um, I don't know. I just think it's really cool that we're getting all these big horror movies from YouTubers. Like we got Talk to Me and Bring Her Back. We also got this now. We're about to get the Backrooms this upcoming weekend, which I might do another live stream just to talk about that if I can see that this weekend, because that one I really want to see. Um, because I've watched those YouTube videos for a while, and those are always so creepy. But let me try to restart this. Yeah, I was just so surprised by like what this movie was, and that ended up being as creepy as it was. Uh, Curry Barker, he's from a channel called it was called I Do Know Nothing. Or wait, no, That's a Bad Idea is what it's called. He's from a channel called That's a Bad Idea. He makes funny skits, and he's kind of gone like the same direction as Jordan Peele, in my opinion. His videos have always kind of been very Key and Peele esque. So it's cool to see him do something like this, and I'm really excited for the horror movies that he makes in the future. Um, and it's just so inspiring to see all these YouTubers making horror movies. Perhaps one day your boy might make it there. We'll see. Um, I actually made a horror short film back in 2019, and I kind of miss doing that. That was a lot of fun. Got some ideas, so I'll get back to it eventually. But right now, just trying to be a parent and trying to make video essays and movie reviews and that sort of thing. So I'm enjoying that right now. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other movies I've seen. In terms of shows, I watched. Let me actually. I gotta pull up one more thing. I gotta pull up The Boys. I have mixed feelings about this. Boys finale. So yeah, I watched the finale for The Boys, and I watched this whole season. I actually ended up binge watching Gen V before this, just because I had a lot of free time taking care of my kid, um, being off of work. Uh, and The Boys just really fell off. And to be fair, it was kind of starting to go that way last season. I think it was just really overstaying its welcome. And there was nothing grand about this season. There was no uh sense of urgency. There was no like high stakes or anything. It just felt like there was really nothing going on, and they were just stalling until they could get to the point where Homelander gets killed off. And that's really what was keeping people invested. It's what kept me watching. You just finally want to see the character die. And I will say that his death is fairly satisfying. I just thought it could have been handled a little bit better. I felt like they should have shown something more like big budget Hollywood for like a character that has these sort of powers like Superman. It was just a little lackluster. Um, and there was a lot of setup in this season for their other show, Vought Rising. And I think that's just a horrible idea because people were checked out with Gen V. So I don't know what they were thinking, like trying to set up another show with their main series, The Boys, the thing that started it all. It was just, I don't know. I think it was all just a big mistake. So I think they could have done better. I also watched season 2 of Daredevil Born Again. I'm about to go into a whole tangent with that too, but let me pull that up. Daredevil season 2. There we go. Oh yeah, I forgot Jessica Jones was even in this season. Um, yeah, that was kind of boring in my opinion. Yeah, I watched Daredevil season 2, and that was just, I don't know, could have been better to be honest. I There were some good moments in it, like especially with this bullseye scene. The beginning of that episode was just really awesome, and there's some really cool moments throughout this season. But there was a lot of episodes where it would end and I'll be like, "That's it," it's just nothing really kept me hooked. The show just doesn't hit the same way the Netflix version did, which I really hate to say because like I felt like we were so lucky to even get the show back after they canceled the Netflix version. It's cool that we're even getting some of the Defenders back. I thought we would never see these characters again, so it's cool that we have it all back. I just feel like they've done all they can with the whole Daredevil Kingpin storyline. It's just worn down, and Kingpin is just becoming more of a goofy character. Um, I just can't take him seriously anymore with his voice and some of the dialogue he has. Like, there's also the part where he's beating up civilians in a hallway, and it just doesn't feel realistic at all. They've never shown that he has any superpowers or anything, so yeah, it wasn't a bad season. It just wasn't anything exciting, in my opinion. Could have been better. Um, yeah, I don't really know what else to talk about in terms of TV shows. I did start watching the first couple episodes of Spider Noir with Nicolas Cage. So far, it's not bad. It's interesting. Um, not like overly uh thrilled about it, but I don't know. I love Nicolas Cage, so and I really like Spider Noir and the Into the Spider Verse movies. So I don't know. I'm only on episode 2, so we'll see where the show goes. But yeah, that was my first live stream of Mr. Cinematic Live. I mean, I've done the Cinecast before, but you know what I mean. Um, wow, I am really struggling with this. um, anyway, anybody that joined, thank you so much for watching. And thank you to people that joined on TikTok. I'll try to do more live streams. I'll try to get a little more used to like talking to people on live streams. It's just not something I'm entirely used to. Maybe I should prepare more. It's probably what I need to do. But anyway, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I'll probably do another live stream after I see the back rooms and maybe some other movies. So stay tuned for that. So yeah. Bye.